Hey there all, how are you? Andy Wanamaker here, and I want to just do a quick welcome video for ELM 515. Looks like there are 15 of you all, and then me, so there's 16 of us collaborating in ELM 515. Started yesterday, September 12th, and it'll go to October 23rd. ELM 515 is called Creating and Managing Equitable and Engaging Learning Environments. I'm sure you've all seen that, and I know most of you have been in the course. Just some housekeeping items I want to go through. But first I want to introduce myself. Like I said, Andy Wanamaker, and I am your professor for this course. I have, this is my 22nd year in education. I did five or 6 years of business before that. But I've spent most of my life in public school education, in a small district in Arizona for the most part. My personal educational experience is I have a BA in business administration, a master's degree in education from GCU in elementary education. I went to Capella and got an EDS, and then I went to Oral Roberts University for a doctorate in ed leadership. I also have some certificates and a master's degree in Christian ministry, a certificate in law and public policy. I'm all across the spectrum, I guess, but I just like learning, and I know you do too, or you wouldn't be in this course. So that's a little bit about me. We'll share about ourselves throughout the course, I'm sure. Just to share a few things about week one, there are actually 4 different discussion questions. 2 of them you're graded on, DQ1 and DQ2. But I would really like to have everybody this weekend get in and publish on the other 2. One is called Summary of Current Course Content Knowledge, and one is called Class Introductions. I really like to see those, and I do review all those and respond to most of you in those, if not all of you. On a weekly basis, you will typically have 2 discussion questions worth 5 points each, and then participation worth 20 points. Please see my announcements about that, although I will walk through that just a little bit here today. And then you usually have an assignment. So again, typically in a typical week, 2 discussion questions, participation, which is just responding to the discussion questions, and meeting some certain standards there, and then also your assignment for the week. So that's a quick intro to the class. Now let's talk a little bit about the announcements. I've posted a lot of announcements. Typically during a week you might get 2 announcements, but I already have 6 or 7 posted, so let's walk through those real quickly. First and foremost, I did give my welcome announcement, and I did introduce myself in the introduction section too, so you'll see my introduction there. Please say hello to me. Most students don't ever talk to the professor on discussion questions or on my posts, so please say hello, and don't be a stranger on my posts. So the welcome announcement there, it kind of walks through the syllabus. Do read the syllabus, go through that, make sure you understand that. I typically print a syllabus even when I'm teaching it. B is find a good quiet place to study. I know a lot of you have kids, young children, maybe even older children, a spouse, significant other. Maybe some of you are still with your parents, so you just need to find a place and a time where you can study quietly and work through your work. But do make sure you turn assignments in on time. The late policy is 10% off for each day you're late, so you do want to be aware of that. But don't just skip assignments. If it gets turned in late, I'll still take it late, so go ahead and get it submitted. The second announcement is about spiritual resources. I do really honor the Christian worldview that GCU operates under. And I do typically at least once a week post something either in the DQs or in the announcements concerning spiritual life, character, something along those lines. So please take advantage of those and be part of the community there. The next one is practicum. Really important. Don't wait till the last minute on this. There are 15 required hours in practicum and field experience, and it's all verified on an e-form. So you'll fill out an e-form. Your mentor needs to sign the e-form. There's no more paper copies or uploading PDFs. It's all electronic. So I just taught this class in the summer, and some of the students, I think we had 20 students, and 4 or 5 had struggles getting signatures. So make sure everything's laid out. Now, it's not in the summer, it's the fall. It should be much, much easier. However, sometimes there's fall breaks in those October weeks. So if that's your last week, make sure things are arranged before you go to fall break if you need to get some final assignments in. Okay, very important. Now, there is a field experience blog. It talks about your activities that you can use. You need to go on that, you need to go on that form, scroll down a little bit, and you will see you need to have an activity out of professional practices, one from professional development, and if you're short some hours, you can move on to additional options. But you need to total 15 hours, and you need at least one activity from professional development and one from professional practices. And you can see that in that second announcement. The third announcement is how I expect you to post discussion responses and your participation. Please make sure you do read through that, and just make sure you have them posted on time. More importantly, probably for you, you're wondering, well, how are you going to score us? Well, that's the next announcement. And it talks about, again, when they're due. The first DQ is due on Saturday night, 11:59 Arizona time. And the second DQ is expected posted by Monday night at 11:59 Arizona time. It's scored 1 point for the following: 1 scholarly reference. So you need a in-text citation as well as a reference at the bottom of your post. It needs to be at least 200 words in your response. It needs to have proper APA formatting, and the content is appropriate for the question, and it's insightful and graduate level ability as far as critical thinking and so forth. Those are truly typically easy points. If you want them, you can get them. So just follow that formatting as far as points, okay? And then participation is scored, it's out of 20 points, and the bottom line there is you need 3 substantial posts on 3 separate days during the course week. Our course weeks start Thursday morning, they end Wednesday at midnight. Again, Thursday morning, end Wednesday at midnight. If you do 1 substantial post, that's worth 7 points. 2 substantial, 14. 3 substantial, you get your whole 20. Now, if you're posting some of them on double on the same day, I did draw out some details there, but you would be minus points if you do them all on the same day, although you can still score pretty well. So if you do get behind during the week, still try to get your 3 substantials in, even if you have to do it on 1 or 2 days, but do try to spread them out during the week. Those participation points and discussion points some people blow them off a little. Don't do that. It could be the difference between an A and a B in the course. So I'll just advise you on that. AI. I just want your work to be your work. So I did lay out some ways to use AI. I'm not against AI, but I need you to use it responsibly and ethically. I don't want AI writing your discussion questions, and a lot of times I can tell if they are AI or not AI. And yeah, I do lay that out there in that announcement. And those are all my announcements. That's really everything for this week. That's a lot. I don't usually do 10-minute videos, but hopefully this kind of gets you started. It was a framework for the whole course, but also getting you started. But again, really make sure you work on getting that practicum set up this week or early next week if you haven't yet, because you don't want to wait till the last minute, because 15 hours is something you sometimes can't do in just 1 or 2 weeks. So you want to be working on that right now, okay? If you have any questions, please post those in the message component on Halo Learn. Also on announcements, if you could all please acknowledge that you've read those. When you do read those, acknowledge, there's an acknowledge button at the bottom. And I would love to see that you acknowledge that you've at least read through it. And it looks like half of you are already doing that. 8 out of 15 acknowledged the first announcement. I just looked at it as an example. So we're off and running. Have a great class. Let me know if you have any questions, but it goes quick. 6 weeks goes really quick. So you have to stay right on top of everything, okay? Again, signing off for week 1, but I'll see you again later in the course. Have a good weekend.